Welcome to Amira Salon's channel. This is Milagros and I will be doing the October readings for each one of the 12 zodiac signs. This is a general reading, so you're invited to watch your moon sign and your ascendant as well. Let's begin. This month we're going to be using the Lover's Path Tarot and the Iris deck. I'm going to list down below the authors of these decks so that you can look them up if you're interested in purchasing the decks. And I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross using this deck, and I'm going to be pulling one advice card from the Iris deck as we did last month. Virgo, this is your reading for the month of October in regards to love. And the first card we have is the Six of Coins, which is a card that speaks about receiving or giving something. In this case, it is not much of a card that has to do with romantic matters, but it has to do with you feeling or trying to measure up if what you have received so far from the other person is equal to what you have given. And I think that right now what you're trying to find out or trying to understand is if maybe the effort that you have been doing till now has been enough, or if life has been fair enough with you, with the people that have been sent your way. I see here as well the card of Justice on top of the situation, which kind of assures me, kind of confirms what I see with the Six of Coins appearing in that position. So I think that it is a month in which you are trying to have some sense of justice. You want to be fair with yourself, you want to be fair with others, and I think that this is crossed by a situation or a fact that has brought to your attention that things might not be going on the way you expect them to go sometimes. It might be some attitude or something that you're receiving from the other side or the other person, and it is making you have some sort of doubts in regards to the future of the relationship, in case you are with somebody or in case you are not in a relationship. Then it can have to do with probably you trying to find the right person and not having had such a good experience when doing it, or having had a difficulty trying to find the right one, mostly. So I see, besides that, I have the Four of Arrows in the past position, which tells me that you might feel that you are coming out from a period of stagnation, a period in which there was not much movement or as much activity as you wish there could have been. And this is a stage in which you want to evaluate if that is what you want. Maybe you haven't seen some progress in a situation that is going on right now. Maybe in a love matter there has not been the progress that you expect, or maybe you have received from the other person a lot of a passive attitude, or you simply took a time to think without having to act. And right now, after having taken that time to think, right now you are about to make a decision in regards to how you want to keep or to continue this relationship towards the future. I get in the future position, well, we're going to talk about that a bit later. I get on the bottom the 10 of Staves, or the 10 of Wands, which is a card that speaks to me about having or feeling burdened about something. You feel that whatever is happening right now, or whatever you're feeling right now in regards to this situation, is happening after you have reached, I won't say the bottom, but after you have reached a period or a moment in which you feel that you have had enough of something. So if it is a situation in which you feel that the things are not being fair, or the people or the other person is not being fair towards you, the bottom of this is that although you have a lot of endurance and a lot of patience, you also reach your limits. And it doesn't mean that the other person has to realize every time you do. You can show something else. You can show that you don't really care that much about what the other person, or the other person can actually understand that you don't really care that much about the trouble or the issue, but you actually are getting quite affected by it. Doesn't necessarily mean that you externalize it. In regards to your current position, I see the Magician, and the Magician is a card that tells me that you have the power within yourself to decide whether you want to keep going or not. Eventually, this is not a situation in which you are depending on the other person to decide something. I think that it is eventually in your hands whether you want to give a second chance or not, whether you want to continue in this situation or not. If this situation has to do with marriage or with divorce or something related to that, then it is in your power to decide for separation. If it doesn't have to do with marriage or separation, then it is in your hands to to take a step aside. You are strong enough to take a step aside and choose for the healthier, for what is healthiest for you. I have on the environment card a woman from an earth sign, which can be Virgo, it can be Capricorn, or it can be Taurus. This person is influential to the matters. It doesn't necessarily have to be the partner, but it can be somebody in the environment, direct or indirectly, that has some influence, and probably is a person that is trying to put some ideas or trying to make you understand or make you realize, like, okay, if you are not receiving what is fair for you, then you should probably go for it. But it seems to be a grounding energy that you need sometimes when you are in seek of advice. It can also be a part of yourself. Like if there is nobody in the picture, then it can be a part, the very logical, the very Virgo part of yourself that just wants to take a step aside from just the romantic implications of this situation and probably see if it is a situation that has a future in a longer term. I get on the unexpected the Two of Arrows, and the Two of Arrows is it's a card that doesn't frequently come in this position. It's a card that has to do with evasion, like trying to not face a circumstance that can be a bit uncomfortable to work with. It can have to do with taking some distance of the facts in order to get a wider idea, a fair idea, trying to seek for harmony, trying not to see some things, trying to just sleep on a matter. And I think that in this case, this card might have to do with you probably not getting the reaction that you want from the other person. If you're trying to trigger a reaction from somebody else in regards to this, you might probably not get the reaction that you're looking for. Or you might also realize that you were expecting yourself to act in a specific way and eventually it didn't come out that way. Eventually it came out differently. Eventually it played out differently. And eventually maybe you will realize that some things have got you cold in regards to a matter. Maybe you realize that after so much struggling, you just want a little bit of peace for yourself. Maybe you are considering beginning a new relationship and you are not sure if you want to go for it or not. And probably in the end, you will just say, okay, maybe I just need to spend more time by myself in order to get clarity and to be in a better position, in a better place so that I can make a decision. I also see I'm sorry about that. I also see in the outcome position the King of, in this case, the King of Arrows. And the King of Arrows in this position has to do with a man, or, well, it can be a woman as well, because we're talking about a general reading. It can be a Gemini, it can be a Libra, it can be an Aquarius, man or woman, as I was saying before. This can also represent yourself coming up into the picture with a more logical approach to the things. Like, maybe you realize that you cannot really control how the circumstances are going. You can control your decisions, but you cannot really control the other person, or you cannot really control how life plays out in regards to some matters. So I think that I also get in the future position the Seven of Coins, which is a card of having achieved something, of movement, or, you know, the things are not as stuck probably as they were before and they are moving towards somewhere. You feel that it's not enough, that you wish you would have better results or faster results, but there is going to be some progress. Whether you decide to continue with the situation or to take a step aside from the situation, you will see some progress. Probably not exactly what you have in mind, as I was saying, but I think that towards the end of the month, you will have a better understanding that some things have to mature with time. along with time. And I also get on the advice card the one who needs to control. I don't know if you can see it here. And this situation has to do with not trying to control all the circumstances, because it can end up being more... it can end up being tricky. Like, I know normally Virgos are one of the signs that need to have control of the things. And the sense of control gives them some sense of stability and well-being, which is not bad. But there are some situations in which you can only control what comes from you, what you expect from people, what you can offer people. You cannot always control the whole circumstance. So try to give it a little break, give a little break to the situation and let it play out on its own. Because I see that if you do differently, you are just going to end up feeling a little bit dissatisfied with how the things are going to play out. Try to just sit, try to wait, try to find that balance within yourself and within the situation. Try to be rational and try to see that whatever is going to be best for you is what is going to happen, and there is not a big need to push for a specific result. As I was saying in the beginning of the video, this is just a general reading to give you an idea of how the things will go during this month. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do it by clicking on the link on the description of the video. If you like the video, you can give a thumbs up, you can share it, you can subscribe to the channel so that you will be notified every time I upload the new videos for the next months. And I really hope you have the best month of October. See you next month. Thank you.